Hey guys, okay, so Katie has asked me to make you guys a video, this won't be long, just identifying a few common challenges that I have seen as people are making their way towards the rank of Gold Ambassador. So I just have a couple of things that I want to point out. Number one, some common mistakes that hopefully you can be proactive about and prevent from happening to you in your own teams and in your own downline. Is number one is understanding that there's a lot of people on your team who are really just wholesale customers. They truly join just for the discount, and at least for right now, they're not interested in the business. When it comes to addressing those folks, I want you to be sure to remember to not forget about them. Just because they clicked join Plexus instead of shop Plexus doesn't mean that they know all the information that you know about Plexus, about the products and what they do. So if their goal is strictly to be on the products, be consistent on the products and see their health results, the health goals that they've set out, your job is to make sure that you check in with them just as though they were your customer. There are a lot of people that forget about that. So make sure you don't forget about them. Be reaching out to them just as you would if they had just clicked join shop Plexus instead. So be sure that you're reaching out. You are reminding them to be consistent with their products. You're helping to tweak their regimen if they need it. You're giving them encouragement. Be sure that those people, if you have a team page, are added to your team page or to your uplines page at least. You don't maybe need to add them to all of the team pages, but they should be on at least one team page and something that's going to give them great information, because you never know when something is shared on there that might actually pique their interest in either even just sharing like with one family member. Maybe they're not really going to be interested in the business, but maybe something that you post makes them realize that the Plexus products at least are a fit for someone else that they care about. So, and that can kind of be a baby step towards something else. So number one is make sure that you don't forget about those wholesalers and making sure that you're taking care of them, loving them where they are and helping them to achieve the goals that they have for themselves, not necessarily what you want to happen with those people. The second thing that I often find happens when you're on your way to gold is not focusing enough on getting your downline to silver. More and more people should be able to see that, number one, silver is achievable, and they should be able to see specific action steps to help them get to silver. Make it fun. Make them see not only is it achievable, but you can have fun while you do it. Encourage them to have some sort of a business launch, whether that means a small sip and see in their living room with just a few friends, or if that means a team Facebook event, one of those live events, those power hours that are so effective. Those are huge, and those can be so beneficial because they're not overwhelming and daunting for that new person who's going towards silver. If they can get some hard RSVPs, just get the bodies to show up to these events, those scripts that we've prepared for them are so convincing that really, as long as they get their prospects there, they're so much closer to closing that deal, whether it is a customer or possibly even a new ambassador. So make sure that you are focused on helping the people in your downline promote to silver. So that's a huge part. Once you realize duplication, because remember when you went silver, it was completely based only on your efforts. When you go gold, yeah, it's possible to get there completely on your own, but it's much easier if you have people sharing the workload. And that means other people in your team going silver and who are encouraged to do that, and who then have a system of duplication where they're encouraging their three folks to go for silver as well. So number one was reaching out to your wholesalers and making sure that they see the product results that they want, right? Because what happens after a couple months, if you're not checking in with them, they're going to fall off. Whether they decide to skip 1 month of an order because they just have too much product on hand because they're not being consistent with their products, that should be an easy thing that you can be proactive about. You should never be surprised when somebody skips an order. If you are, it means you're not reaching out enough. So that was number one, taking care of the wholesalers. Number two is making sure you're helping your downline promote to silver and be encouraged to do that. Give them action steps and examples to follow to achieve those goals. Silver is so doable. And the last thing I want to remind you about when you are going for gold is to not just rely on your downline to get you there. Okay, you can't rely on the fact that everybody that has joined your team is going to want to go silver, because the fact is they're just not. So you need to never stop prospecting. There's no shortage of people who need our products, or maybe who want them for the best price, or maybe people who need a supplemental income. Remember that there are probably more people who go to bed at night more worried about how they're going to cover their next bills than they are concerned with the size of their waistline. So don't be afraid to share the opportunity with more people and let them know that supplemental income is absolutely possible. We get paid so many different ways. They can achieve this. So you never want to stop prospecting, okay? The people who have gotten you this far might not be the people who stick around who get you to the next place. So as you are promoting through the ranks of Plexus, just know that your team is going to change. Some people are going to fall off. Some people are going to surprise you and want to become all in that you didn't expect. And so those are happy surprises. But we often have disappointments along the way that we didn't foresee coming necessarily. And it's so important to constantly be sharing Plexus, the products and the opportunity, with more people. You can't just depend on your downline to duplicate your efforts and expect that to happen because it just doesn't always happen the way that we hoped. So, you know, I know when I first heard about even people at the jewel level saying that they never stop prospecting, I remember being discouraged by that and thinking, well, there you go, then I could never be that successful, because first of all, I just don't know that many people, and secondly, I don't really know that I'm going to want to. That feels like a lot of work. It transitions over time into really being part of my why has evolved into helping more people achieve the ability to become a stay-at-home mom or achieve financial goals that they have for themselves, just as much as I want to help people with their health goals. So you may find that passion too, where you don't want to stop that. But in addition to that, it's so surprising to me, even after today's my 3-year Plexiversary. It's amazing to me how many people have watched me the whole time who reach out and say, okay, maybe we were friends in junior high or something, and we only because of social media are we still in touch. But they reach out and say, something you said or something you posted piqued my interest. Is there a fit here? And you never know who their circle of influences are. So don't be discouraged by hearing that you should never stop. Be encouraged, be challenged by that, and don't ever assume that the team is going to do the work for you. You want to set the example for them because that's going to continue to inspire them to want to continue as well. So the team effort aspect is hugely important and so beneficial. So I hope that helps. I think that that's really kind of the most common things that I see on the way to gold, is understanding that importance of duplication, where to focus, and what it doesn't mean. So it doesn't mean that now you're done and they do the work for you, but it does mean that they can help, and that you should be encouraging them to see that silver is achievable. So the more silvers you have in your team, the better off you're going to be, and the closer you are going to be where you want to achieve, and the faster it's going to make it happen. So I hope that helps. That's kind of my most common things. And if you guys have questions, never hesitate to ask, and I'll cover some more things if that helps. So have a good day.